This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect and you're a person. I went on a brisk walk at sunset yesterday.
Yes.
And it literally zhuzhed me and made me feel that I was a productive king and that fall was right around the corner and that I had ideas and that I was just on the precipice of something really nice.
Sometimes you just need a large space to really get your juices flowing and get your self-reflection going, get your ideas cumulating.
Cumulating. Well, no, I agree with that. And it was just a beautiful little walk. We went with, the wife, the baby, the dog. We did the whole family. We went on a little walk. And Julian was being really cute. And he was like, oh my God, look at all these flowers and leaves. And then Bert, my dog, was like, okay, actually, I'm getting into a cactus. And he did get a bunch of sort of little spindles in his fur. And we had to get those out. And he was okay. He didn't even really notice. But
did you reflect?
I did reflect. And it was sort of like, it's also been a brisk wind, which we discussed earlier. But a brisk wind of fall that's happening. That's really making me feel inspired and excited for it to be a little jacket.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm wearing long sleeves for the first time ever.
By the way, and Rainie's not someone that wears a lot of long sleeves.
No.
No.
But I do have a question for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm obviously here with the Wrecking Ball crew.
Ciao.
Yeah. So we almost.
That was a strong one.
It was strong.
That was kind of masculine.
We can't. It was a more masculine chow than usual.
Yeah.
I would say.
Next time we'll do a feminine chow.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. I'm loving a feminine chow. Now, Rainie, go ahead.
Okay, so first time of you not being my boss.
That's
now that we're
right.
here.
Literally.
What's the check-in? How are you feeling? How do you like being a business owner, entrepreneur, full-time entrepreneur?
I think I'm going to beg for my job back. No, things are good.
Yeah.
What was it? October at this point, this episode's coming out.
Yeah.
So it's been about a month of me working for myself. And I gotta say, in every single way, shape, and form, it is exactly how I thought it would be. I'm very busy, but in a very good way.
Yeah.
And my YouTube videos have gone out. I've released 2 at this time, maybe a 3rd by the time this episode comes out. And I'm really enjoying that. And people have been very cool about that. And the YouTube channel is growing, and that is very exciting.
Oh my gosh.
It is exciting.
So I think that there is like a newfound panic where it's like, if I mess this up, it's all me. Which is like, that part is a little scarier. But I am really, really enjoying it. And I streamed recently. And I have full control.
And the fruits of your labor are yours.
The fruits of my labor are mine. I am eating so many fruits. Pineapple, mango, peach. And no, it's been really nice, actually. I think that like it is a weird thing to create your own schedule.
Yeah, what is your are you just wake up brainstorm?
Wake up, grind crypto ideas. 9 p.m. And I also wake up at 1 p.m. Wake up at 1 a.m., grind crypto ideas, and then I'm on the treadmill. Hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours on the treadmill.
5 hours.
My legs are pulpy. I'm in the sauna, and I'm grinding actually TikToks. No, I wake up usually with the baby, and then I hang out with him, and then he goes to bed. Depending on the day, I try to get to this studio at around 10 a.m. I just try to get, because it's my own, like I'm my own little boss, I try to make it as much of a schedule as possible.
I think that is the way to do it, is to treat like, hey, I'm freelancing, I'm doing various things, and I have my various buckets, but like if you just let everything drag out, you can work you can just be like, fuck, I have to work really late tonight. It's like, no, just work it like it's a job.
Yes,
exactly. Which it is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then you have more flexibility in there, but like take the hours seriously.
Even if I get here at 10 a.m. and then I scroll on TikTok, I find that that's a success.
Well, what's great about this industry is that's working.
And that's honestly what I was doing at Try Guys anyway. Showing up to scroll.
Yep.
Scroll.
Well, mostly showing up to goss with you. And then it's like eventually we get to work. But mostly we're talking trash. We're talking goss. We're talking sauce. But anyway, speaking of you guys, how have you been since we last chatted? I feel like I haven't seen you as much because I'm not coming into the office at all.
Maybe you should just come in for lunch every day.
I literally thought about it. But then I was like, there's no way they're going to allow me to have the free lunch gratis on the company while not being a full-timer.
Not, but it would be great.
They let me, on Tuesdays when I come in, they let me have the lunch.
Well, yeah,
and I said,
do it, you're part of the production,
right. I'm part of the fray.
You're part of the universe, the tri-universe.
Extended family,
the
as
extended
it
family.
were. So what's been new? What's going on? Will?
I think by the time this episode comes out, my big post, which obviously was postponed, will
How much
be
did
out.
you postpone it?
I postponed it by a month. It's supposed to come out on Thursday. I obviously have the creative locked. It's been locked for a long time.
Yeah, years at this point. We'll postpone for a full ass month.
I am only today like really trying to make it happen. So I have a contingency. We'll see which version comes out.
If
No
it doesn't,
way,
I will say,
Will, you
Will,
have
come
to.
on. It's been a year.
I'm not
If
gonna
it doesn't
post
come out, I will be mad at you. And I will. If it doesn't come out, I will make a smear campaign of you. I swear to God. I will make a video.
I know the idea. I'll do it.
Here's
I'll
the
take
thing.
it.
A version of something's going to come out. Is it the version? We have to wait and see.
I will put an attack ad in the LA Times. I will pay.
More expensive than you think.
I will pay. I don't care. I will put company resources behind an attack ad smearing your good name. Because you've had more than enough time, and I'm very excited to see the post. You notice you're keeping it from my little paws.
Well, I know, but that's the thing. I have an idea, and
You have to do it today. Just do it today.
I can't.
Why?
There's a technical part of it that is the hard part that I have a solution to. I think
I have to learn how to tap dance.
it's not dissimilar to that. I mean, it's not dance related, but yeah, I am planning to do it. I am going to do it. It will happen. And if it doesn't happen, something else funny will happen instead. So by the time this episode comes out, it'll be out. And obviously people will be understanding it and loving it. So
the main thing is that they understand it. People will be understanding it. They love it so much. And it's like, huh? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, and I've said this before, if I am able to achieve the vision that I have, I don't know how many people will like it.
Oh my God, Will.
People will think it's silly and fun, but they won't like enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
God. People will think it's silly and fun, but they won't enjoy it.
It's sort of like a history lesson.
No, I think there are enjoyable elements of it.
It's like a broccoli.
The things that I love about it are why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And why I've had this creative lock for some time now.
Oh, yeah. By the way, you don't even have to mention it. We know the creative is locked.
I want to be clear. The idea I have is very clear. The creative has been
locked for a full calendar year at this point.
Yeah, I think that's basically accurate. I mean, a little less, but the point is, I'm going to post something on Thursday, October 5th, and I hope it is the thing that I have in my head.
Okay, let me tell you about all the things that I have on my mind.
Yeah, what's up, Rainie?
First of all, I'm trying to get out. So I went to a wedding.
Really?
And yeah, last week, went to a wedding in New York, and it was so fun. And I was just like, I need to get out of my routine. I need to stop going for the same run every day, stop going for the same walk every day, stop eating the same things every day.
Oh.
So I'm trying to do that.
I love that.
Trying to find love.
Okay, so she sort of paused on that one, didn't say too much, moved on.
Well, because I actually was like, there's more, but I sort of forgot all the other ones.
So sorry, okay. So your goals are disrupt your energy, your workflow, and find love.
And I think also do more self-reflecting, because I also was reflecting in New York. But I think it was because I was disrupted.
Travel often, I find, disrupts the workflow, allows me to think clearly.
Yeah.
I was stuck in the Boston airport recently.
Yeah.
Because my flight was delayed.
Logan, hello. Honestly, Logan's not bad.
It was okay, but I was there for the whole night.
You slept there?
No, they put me in an Embassy Suites. Gorgeous, by the way. They put me in the gorgeous Embassy Suites. And they Postmated some Indian food, and I ate it like a little gremlin in my bathroom. The Embassy Suites.
Over the sink?
Over the sink.
Yeah.
Like a fucking rat.
That's what a man does.
That's what a man does. And then I slept so restlessly. And then I woke up super early, went to the airport.
Okay, this is stressing me out, honestly.
It was bad. It was a bad vibe. But
he was reflecting.
But I listened to an audiobook while I was there. I think I hit you with it on the advice of the Go for Miles. Shout out to the tripod.
Oh, yeah.
And I really liked the audiobook, and it was a lot about just the finiteness of life and how you should try to just really enjoy the things that you are doing instead of planning for the time when you're going to enjoy them. And I found that was actually good for me.
See, I remembered another one.
Here we go.
Building community. That's another thing.
Talking to me, Willis?
That's good. Honestly, building community is huge.
Community is great. I just think it's really hard, and I like that you threw it in as like an afterthought. And also, I'd like some community.
Also, generate an infrastructure where everyone loves each other and it's all
and everything works in harmony. And we have different scaffolds on the Yeah.
So there's like a lot on my plate, honestly.
Honestly, you had a big week ahead of you. No, Rainie, I'll say this. I am kind of a community builder. And
you are a builder.
I've done it, a builder. And I build a lot of communities, I feel like. And one of the things that is like, I would say, actually, me and Sarah were talking about this today. And we got to get the calls, obviously, because the fucking phone is ringing.
We got to save lives.
Save lives. Someone's like, I have to defuse this bomb. But we were talking about this because I think the ultimate goal for me, I was like, what could I do 10 years? And it really is, and I've said this before in a billion different ways probably, but I really think the ultimate goal for me is to own and operate a coffee shop that is a community hub, that is a community center where my friends come and they hang out, and there's little production offices upstairs where I make content. Aww. And I was like, that is the ultimate goal for me, I think.
I love
That's
it.
The ultimate community thing.
And I can work there. I'll work there.
Rainie, you can work there. You can work as a barista.
No, I would be so excited though if you did that because I would do my little tippy taps. I'd be on Premiere.
See, exactly.
I mean, I could be a barista. I shouldn't have shut that down.
Well, I mean, honestly,
if you need me to be a barista, I'll do that.
Rainie, you're overqualified.
Have you ever been a barista before, Rainie?
No.
Do you make your own coffee?
Yeah, sometimes.
Rainie got cagey about this. What was this? You don't make your own coffee sometimes?
Making coffee to me is not enough bang for the buck.
Oh.
I think it's just so much faster to buy my own coffee. I only get black, so it's like
not what bang for the buck means.
By the way, also,
literally not what it means.
Do you think people are going to a coffee shop because it's faster?
Yeah, it's easier. It's easier
because it's more affordable.
Wait, going to a coffee shop?
Or no, or like making coffee at home.
Oh, making coffee at
more
home.
affordable,
Yeah.
typically. Not always, depending on what you're doing.
I'm buying nice coffee these days.
I am also buying nice.
No, it is more affordable, but it also is just like, I think first thing, it's like, do I want to put myself to work first thing?
No, I don't blame you.
Well, there is a solution to this, and I've got a hack for everyone out there. Get a Mr. Coffee. They've got a basic timer in there, and you do the coffee the night before. And then it's freaking up on when you are trying to get out of bed.
I agree.
That is what my parents do.
I've never done that, but the timer is really
and a basic
nice.
Mr. Coffee, which is what I have. They make a nice cup of coffee if you buy nicer coffee, and it's just drip. And if you prep it the night before, the moment you're getting out of bed, that coffee is ready.
You know what I will say? In college, I had a tea kettle and I had the instant coffee. Had filled up the water before, turned it on, and then, had fresh hot coffee half asleep. And I could do that.
No instant coffee.
Well, instant coffee is not necessarily for me, though I know a lot of people like it. You know what I will say about instant coffee?
Yeah.
It's
easy.
Well, it's easy.
Yeah.
Instant. It's literally snapping your finger. But what I will say about instant coffee is I put it on my ice cream. I've said this before.
That's a great idea.
It's fucking really good.
Yeah, that is really good.
A little bit, just a dash of dousel of instant coffee on your ice cream, and it kind of creates this nice
texture.
It's bitter and it's crunchy and it's,
it's a great
sweet
texture.
and it's ice cream. Anyway, but that's enough about instant coffee. That's actually enough about ice cream in general because I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? But it's time for us to get to the phone lines. But before we do, if you like the show, then you should consider liking and subscribing it on whatever platform you listen.
Yeah.
So you don't miss an episode, and so the show does better, and so the show can get bigger, so all your friends are going to be like, that's awesome. And if you love this show, you can consider joining us on Patreon, where there are ad-free extended versions of every single episode, including this one, where there's actually a cold open where we wax about what it's like to be fall in there now.
Autumn.
I thought you were just going to stop where we wax.
Where we wax.
We...
And also, there's bonus episodes every Friday where I call back people from the show and I see how they're doing after I gave them the advice to see how I changed their life. And you get updates on your favorite little characters.
Wow.
Yeah. But until then, we got to get to the phone lines.
Hi, Miles. I have been a victim of corporate espionage, or so I think. And I really just need your help to figure out how to handle the situation. Involved my boss and a staff meeting, and I'm just trying to navigate this corporate world as a corporate girly, and I don't think I'm doing it right. Thanks.
Well, you called the right place.
Yes, we know about corporate stuff.
We literally know about corporate America and its ins and outs.
Corporate America is so weird.
Yeah. When you say corporate America, like, what type of business are you thinking? My mind goes pharma.
My mind goes consulting.
Oh, that's
But I was also just sort of thinking about how you have to respond to your boss's text messages.
You have to do that in non-corporate environments as well.
I'm literally in a group thread where you do that exclusively, responding to our boss's text messages.
It's not different.
I guess maybe actually you might have to cut that because our bosses are public figures.
What?
I'm not following this.
Sorry, are you just becoming aware that our bosses are public?
This is like the first time you've thought about it? Like that they're public.
I guess people, when I say my boss, I guess people know who they are.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. And I'm like, oh, people are going to be like, oh, Rainie doesn't like responding to Zach. But I only don't like responding to him when it's like, can you do this thing?
Leaving all of this in.
Yeah, we got to leave this in. No, but all I'm saying,
I only know you're responding to Zach when he's telling me to do something for my job. I mean, let's be honest, I don't even work for the company. I didn't like doing anything for my job when he asked me to respond.
well, sure. I'm not saying that.
Nobody likes to work.
Nobody wants to work anymore. I've been saying it for a long time. People are just sick and tired of working. No.
Yeah.
This is a right-wing meme. People were saying that for a long time.
Oh, it was confusing because you were quoting something but didn't say you were quoting it, so right. I thought it was you.
It was a ghost quote.
No, I feel the opposite of that ghost quote.
You know what I'll say? I love to have a little sweet treat and my little coffee in the morning. But if someone demanded that I wanted to do it.
Exactly.
Do I really want to do it anymore?
Agreed. I will also say I think corporate environments are kind of stilted and weird a lot of the times. I used to edit corporate videos where we would. This is before I worked at Try Guys, but like it was
crying.
No, I'm not crying. I'm laughing because of how boring these videos were. Like there were videos I worked on where like you would get the CEO interviewed and the CEO sucked on camera and said nothing you could use, but you have to put the CEO in the video because they're the CEO and like they sat for an interview, so they expect to see themselves. So you're doing all this shit to like, you know, preserve people's egos, and the hierarchy is like more strict and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, Will really letting it all hang out. Really venting. I appreciate you opening up.
About your corporate life.
About your corporate lifestyle.
I mean, again,
he's crying for the audio listeners. He's crying.
I could not be. My eyes couldn't be drier. My eyes are like the Sahara Desert.
Let's give this person a call. Hello, you called Perfect Person, and I'm here to call you back about you being a corporate girly, and I'm obviously here with the Wrecking Ball crew.
Ciao! That wasn't really feminine,
Oh
Will.
my God.
Sorry, I forgot about that. We were supposed to do a feminine chow.
Yeah, they were supposed to do a feminine chow, but Will went normal.
You guys sound so much cooler than you do like over the pod. Like this is awesome.
We sound so much cooler.
She says we sound cooler. Yeah,
like you sound funny on the pod, but this is like intimidating.
I
agree.
Needed that compliment today.
Today.
The whole crew.
Rainie just said today.
Today, but I do need compliments to survive. I was thinking about yesterday. That's another thing I'm working on.
Rainie also just finished a coffee.
I'm in shock. Oh my gosh.
Well, also, who doesn't like getting a nice compliment? But let's dive into the corporate.
Let's dive into your corporate question, and I think we're gonna need a fake name, Rainie.
Oh, we came up with one.
Telly, why don't you tell us the situation? Telly, like Teletubby.
Oh, Helly.
Why don't you tell us the situation that you have found yourself in? This morning was an early rise for you, boy, because my little baby son decided that 6 a.m. was gonna be playtime. But luckily for me, I have gorgeous, adorable little toys from KiwiCo to keep him entertained in the early hours of the morning when Daddy is also sort of acclimating to the sunlight as the sun rises. KiwiCo is a must-have subscription for your child that encourages brain-building play. The Panda Crate was specifically designed for newborns and toddlers to support their rapid development in the first 2 years of life. Each Panda Crate includes expert-backed activities to help babies at every stage learn by doing what they do best, playing and exploring. My 9-month-old's favorite toy right now is a little mirror peekaboo. That's right, he loves the mirror. He loves to look at himself, and there's a little peekaboo kind of wooden square that he can pull off this little thing like a chef revealing a piece of cuisine, but it's not a piece of cuisine, it's a little mirror that my baby loves to look at. You'll receive up to 6 age-appropriate products that support child-led play and encourage up to 10 different skills for your baby, from developing cognitive skills to engaging their senses and practicing fine motor control. Foster brain-building play with KiwiCo. Right now, get 50% off your first month plus free shipping at kiwico.com, promo code PerfectPerson. 50% off your first month plus free shipping at kiwico.com, promo code PerfectPerson. kiwico.com, promo code PerfectPerson. Get playing with your babies! I'm a big believer in microdosing. Sometimes I microdose dessert at lunchtime by having just one little bite of ice cream. And I also like to microdose THC with microdose gummies. I've talked before about how I love using THC to help relax or help party better or help be creative. And with microdose gummies, you're able to do that in a nice little way that is sustainable, feels good, and allows you to get those brain juices flowing. Our show today is sponsored by Microdose Gummies. Microdose Gummies deliver perfect entry-level doses of THC that help you feel just the right amount of good. And boy, do they. The end of a long day of crushing it business-wise, content-wise, and creative-wise, I like to take a break and I like to relax. And I find that microdose gummies are a really nice way to kind of slowly let me get into relaxation mode so I can dive into video games or I can dive into like a nice movie without having my brain keep running circles around all the stuff that I gotta do. I can focus on that in the morning, but I'll let microdose gummies let me get into that relaxation station. Microdose is available nationwide. To learn more about microdosing THC, go to microdose.com and use code PERFECTPERSON to get free shipping and 30% off your first order. Links can be found in the show description, but again, that's microdose.com and code PERFECTPERSON.
I use corporate lightly. I work as a teacher.
That can be corporate,
at a private school.
Oh, a private school can be
it's starting
corporate.
to feel corporate.
Yeah, okay.
There's all sorts of dynamics.
Yeah, I have one of those like not so bueno bosses.
We know about that.
The school year was starting, and I work in like special education, so there's a lot of like neurodivergent students, and I work really as like the special education teacher specifically. So basically the situation was, sorry, I'm kind of nervous.
Oh my God, don't be nervous at all. We're here to support you, by the way. When people call in, you're our best friend, even if you're lying.
Okay.
Yeah.
We tend to back the callers. So don't worry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm like hoping this is like pod-worthy tea, but so basically, I'm like a bit of a try-hard at work, I would say, which I feel like is appropriate when you're working with like vulnerable youth. And I would say my boss is more like benefiting from the like job and like the hours and the lifestyle and like not really doing much. So anyways, I work under this person and I always have ideas and like different initiatives that I want to take. And recently, last year, before the school year, I had this idea to make these profiles of each of the students that we could use to give to new teachers because we were having a lot of turnaround, probably because of the bosses. But so we haven't let it turn around. Like, we should give these profiles to the teachers about the different students' needs and like behaviors and things that have worked about them in the past. And I brought this up in a staff meeting, and it was like shot down by almost everybody, being like, that sounds like a lot of paperwork. And I was like, it's a lot of paperwork, but also it like will help to deal with a lot of the issues we see coming up with these new teachers coming in.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Upfront work.
Pay now or pay later. One of my life mottos.
That's right.
They have chosen to pay later.
That's right.
That's your life motto.
Yeah.
So I like was really taking initiative here, and it was just sort of said, like, it was just sort of tabled, right? Cut to the staff meeting at the beginning of this school year. And I'm virtually in this meeting because I was actually quite sick. And then everyone else is there in person. And my like bestie at work, who's like the admin person, she's on a FaceTime with me on my phone. So she's not in the Zoom call, and she's muted. So like they can't hear her and everything like that. And my boss opens the staff meeting by saying, okay, guys, so over this like next week before school starts for the students, I was thinking that we could do A, B, and C. And like C is the idea I had of creating these profiles, all of the students.
Yeah.
And the look my coworker gave me over the FaceTime, like, did she just say like what you just said in that meeting? Like, I'll shut down all this time. And then all the other coworkers, like nothing, like no memory, like no recall that I brought this up in the meeting before. And I just I sort of sat there for a while, kind of shocked. Anyways, that's sort of the tea.
Gotcha.
I'm kind of trying to figure out how to like go about this now afterwards. Like, what do I say to my boss if I want to be involved in this project? How do I not like get fired in an interaction with my boss now after being a victim of this? But yeah.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, sorry that happened. Second of all, we're about to change your life.
Oh, yeah.
No,
okay.
I mean, look, we hope. Let me just tell you this. It's a question. Did you say something along the lines of how does this differ from the project that I pitched?
I did not, because my boss, she has word for word said to another coworker of mine, I don't take constructive criticism well. I've heard her say this in the workplace. She is a very defensive person.
That's
and
great.
I'm not confrontational in a nice way. So I don't know how to
Is your boss the person you report to, do they do the hiring and firing, or is there someone above them?
Miles, I do the hiring. The school's a mess. I read all the resumes.
You're not getting fired. You're literally 1,000,000% not getting fired. And I don't want to say this and then all of a sudden you sue me because you get fired. But I really doubt that they're going to fire you. And it's for a million reasons. But namely, it's because they don't have their shit together. And at a school like this, they know that if they fire you, they're going to have to hire someone else. And that is in and of itself a nightmare. And especially if you were the person who does the hiring for this school.
Yeah.
I think that there is absolutely everything to gain in the next staff meeting when you bring up something. And I would do it in this sort of way. Hey guys, so I know that we're sort of moving forward with these paperworks. When I first pitched this idea last year, here's some of the things I had in mind. Really glad we're moving forward with the idea.
Yes.
Here's a couple of the ways here's a couple of the ways in which I had in mind this type of thing. I'm really glad we're doing this, and I'm psyched about how it can help.
Yeah.
But I think that
and if gaslight, but it's not actually gaslighting because it's real.
No, it's real.
Yeah.
It's literally your idea.
The gas is lit.
it's a gas idea.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing I would say. If there is an HR department, HR mostly is there to prevent lawsuits and stuff, but this is the kind of thing that HR could help with. You have a boss doesn't take constructive criticism well. You go to the HR department, you say, hey, I'm pretty sure that I'm not being credited for this idea, and I don't feel comfortable bringing it up. That is literally the kind of conflict, the kind of milquetoast conflict that HR can help you with.
Milquetoast.
This is the other thing I have a question about, and I think that Will is right. HR can help you with that kind of thing. Although, what do you stand to gain by having it be your credited idea? Do you want to be at the school forever? Do you want your boss's job? Or are you using this as a stepping stone to get to something you actually want to do, which is maybe to do special ed at a different school?
That's a great question.
That is a great question. I ask myself that every day when I have to deal with my boss. Also, I can't believe I was speaking to Will, and Will was giving me advice.
That's right.
HR is the biggest joke where I work because there is no HR. And honestly, if there wasn't HR, we would all be fired. The place would be shut down.
Been there.
But,
all I'm saying is that if there was one, this would be this is a common. I read a lot of advice columns. I'm obsessed with people giving advice. I think it's a fun format. And a lot of times people will say, go to HR. And I think a lot of times that's not enough. But in this case, straightforwardly, you pitch the idea in the next meeting. It was not pitched in or attributed to you. But I think Miles' solution is elegant. And since there's not a department, you don't need to have a conflict about this idea being taken as long as you claim it publicly in the meeting as your idea.
Yeah, you need to reverse gaslight the team.
You say, when I brought this up, I'm really glad, because that's the thing. You said this was a good idea, so I'm sure you're happy it's happening.
Yeah.
What sucks about it is the idea that your contributions were told, no, it's not good. And then, oh, hey, actually, no, it is good. We just don't like it when it comes from you. Yeah. That's how it feels, right?
Yeah, that's how it felt. Yeah. Yeah, and I think going back to what is this? Is it worth it? What am I doing here? I think it's worth it to me to try to reclaim the idea, mostly because I also want to do it slightly differently than how we are doing it, which is not very effective.
Totally, that's it. Perfect. Yeah,
but I also worry, and I feel like I'm not sure if you guys can tell us, but I talk a lot and I have a lot of ideas, and I am worried that they're a little bit too much for the workplace. I'm also the youngest one there, and they're all kind of tired people.
Yeah, no.
I feel like I should either let them do it how they're doing it, because this is the only way it was going to come to fruition, or I should sort of try to reclaim it and then edit it a bit and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I've found that this workplace does not value initiative. And I'm sort of waiting for all these people to leave, and then I'm going to take over. I don't know.
And I think it's also because of your specific job, because if you had a job that was you work for a car insurance company, I would probably tell you, you know what? Fucking now is your time to coast. Don't do any work. Literally, you're never going to get fired. The difference here is that
we've got
kids.
And not
so
just,
it's
not just kids, but we marginalized, vulnerable kids.
Right, exactly. And you want those kids to both have a good experience, to be able to develop, in the ways that you want them to
and not cause problems for other classes. It's all a great idea. It's just, unfortunately, we don't pay teachers enough in this country. We treat them like dog shit. And as a result of that, I sort of understand, but I don't like the attitude of being this is a pain. I don't want to do it.
It's just
sometimes I feel like I care too much at work, and I know caring too much at work can burn you out. But also I'm what other attitude are you supposed to have in this work environment? And I see my other coworkers who like very much don't care, and it's like shocking to me on a daily basis.
I think people get burned out, to be honest.
People do get burned out.
I think that you're still young enough that you haven't had things really break bad. And I look forward to that happening.
You haven't started cooking meth. Breaking Bad style. Yeah. Is that what that means?
Well, kinda. That's not what I meant, but...
Yeah, Rainie?
Yeah. Well, I feel like it is tough because it's like, you got, in terms of like being burnt out, it is sort of like, okay, choose your battles. How much does, because I do know credit is like it's like crucial, especially like in the creative field. I feel like it is crucial, but it also sometimes it's like
just for your ego,
just for ego only. But also I think it's like, I don't know, like sometimes it's like keep working towards, you know, like I think that's why I liked Miles's question of like, what is the goal? Like, are you trying to better this school? Are you trying to switch positions? Are you trying to help the kids? If you
want to know what the goal is?
Yeah.
The goal, okay, so I'm a nepotism hire.
Nepo baby.
But also I'm a competent hire, I would say.
Well, yeah, you're in special ed, so I think we'll give you the Nepo baby credit. That's okay.
I think it's okay.
We need more special ed teachers, so I think that's all right.
I don't know that I wouldn't use Nepo baby.
I'm also an alum of the school.
Oh, so you're really tied in here.
Yeah, no, I'm really integrated. It's kind of toxic, but
yeah.
So my boss has also taught me at one point, and so I feel like there's a lot of undermining happening. But at the end of the day, what I do want to do is not like take over this school, but burn it to the ground and then build it back up.
No, by the way, I totally get that feeling.
This is a novel.
This is a big novel. And I think that
600 pages?
This is a great novel. And I'm reading it right now.
I just like that you led with big novel.
Probably, yeah, my advice for you is to mention picking your battles. Mm-hmm. And I think instead of even picking your battles, like a better way to put that is like only care about the stuff that's going to matter.
Yeah.
Like, because not that you need to like see all of the conflicts you can have. It's just like, don't, like, if you want to reclaim this idea in the staff meeting, that's great. But if you know your boss is going to take constructive criticism bad, you don't like your boss, you don't really like the situation of her taking your idea, you don't need to confront your boss. What you want is probably the credit for the idea and to have a passion for this. But I think the way people get burned out is by, one, you're a teacher and that's just a fucking unfortunate situation because teachers get paid horribly and have bad benefits and stuff. But I think another way a lot of people get burned out is by caring too much about everything and then taking it home with them. And in a situation like this, try and care just about the stuff that's going to matter to you, probably like how it's going to affect the kids, how the other teachers are going to handle like this project, something that matters to you. But the actual like social dynamics of this job, you can kind of just be like, fuck you guys, I'm going home at the end of the day. And I'm not going to take any of this with me. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Super psyched for it. Like, I don't think you need to necessarily bring that home because it sounds shitty and like you're being undermined.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think that you should like do, like, I'm not saying like, oh, this isn't a battle to fight. I'm just like, does it matter that it's credited to you if it's a good idea being implemented in a way that you wouldn't do it exactly, but it's still better than not being implemented at all? Like you still like, you know that you came up with the idea and that it's helpful. Like, I think like your career is going to be long and you have so many more years and months to like implement this kind of change. And I think like corporate just happens, it's like takes so much longer than you want it to.
It really does.
Slow. Like in college, it's like, okay, I joined a club, I'm president of the club a year later. But in corporate, it's like, oh my God.
Literally, the club
this is taking fucking a million years to do one idea.
No, it's so
I will say, I just think it's very funny you referred to your boss borrowing your ideas, corporate espionage. Unfortunately,
meeting me like this is corporate espionage. I'm a victim of corporate sabotage.
Yes,
like, I was riled up.
I think that's really funny, and I will say that I feel like unfortunately, bosses taking people's ideas is like relatively common.
It's the oldest job.
I think it happens in a lot of different workplaces, and it can be really frustrating because a smart person, a good leader, would be like, "Hey, I know you proposed this idea. I want to do it like this. Let's put our heads together and like, figure out it." Like. But that takes too much work. So,
well, hey, thank you for calling in. I do appreciate it. And I hope that you go to your boss and you say, actually, I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the sound effect. Also, this is literally insane. So there's that.
Have a wonderful evening. You actually are awesome. And I do appreciate it. And you're a teacher. And that's
great
cool.
work. And I'm like very inspired by you.
Thank you guys. And have a great rest of your pod episode.
Hope it's fun.
Chow!
That one we're like scared of saying it. We're like it's like a spooky chow.
Yeah, it's like a spooky chow because we're trigger happy. We're like we fired off a couple of good ones and now we're just worried we're not going to hit our shot.
Yeah.
No, you know what's scarier than failure?
What's that?
Success. And we did such a good one in the beginning. It's like, where do we go?
Let me look at some of the newer calls that just came in. How do I tell my boss to keep his fingers out of my peanut butter?
I mean, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Hey, Miles, how do I tell my boss to keep his fingers out of my peanut butter? Thanks.
Okay, this one...
We've all been here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Always in the jiffy.
I'm always in the jiffy at work. Rainie would bring her private jiffy. The idea of Rainie bringing a little bag of jiffy.
You got him on brand somehow.
Guys, this is just for me. This isn't for the office. We got to get some more details on the jiffy situation.
Hello?
Hello! Ciao! We obviously, it's obviously the Wrecking Ball crew. You freaking called the right place to get your boss to stop fingering your peanut butter. And I'm obviously Miles, and I'm here with Rainie and Will.
What up?
Hey.
Hello.
I didn't really know I needed to say hi.
So, what's your situation, boss?
I work in office, obviously, and I eat peanut butter and jelly quite frequently at work.
Such a fucking good snack,
Go
by the
to
way.
Sammy.
Literally, I'm doing PBJ on sourdough often.
Ooh, that elevates.
A little bit of a
An elevation that excites.
Yeah, thank you, Rainie.
What's going on is I leave my peanut butter at work. We have a lunch table. I leave it on the lunch table, okay?
Uh-huh.
Seems like a
my
good place for it
boss-
to be.
Yeah,
Right where I need it, you know?
Yeah.
definitely.
This is a lock and shut case.
My boss brings his dog in sometimes, though. And whenever he does that, I guess he likes to give his dog peanut butter. So he opens up my peanut butter and just sticks his fingers in, gets some peanut butter on it, and gives it to his dog.
This is
That's
unbelievable.
great.
That is unacceptable. It is unbelievable. What kind of dog?
He has a lab.
Cute.
Even
though.
worse.
Oh.
No. No, I love a lab. So, got it. And have you made eye contact with him as he's fingering?
I hate to say it, but yes, I have.
You have. What was it when you looked down the belly of the
And
beast?
he feels no guilt for... Is in his mind, is this just free office peanut butter?
Is he mistaken?
But you can't put your finger in free
Well, I
office
agree.
peanut butter.
Even less.
No, I agree.
So here's what happened. It happened the first time, and I brought in a second jar of peanut
of course.
butter.
Yeah, because
And it's like, okay, well,
well,
now
it's
this is the
tainted.
dog's peanut butter.
Yeah, contaminated peanut
Yeah.
butter.
So exactly. There was one dog peanut butter, one for my sandwiches,
DP, BB.
and he opens the new jar and he fingers the new jar.
No fucking way. If
This
that
is
happened, I would
unbelievable.
throw
Is he
a
on
fit.
a power trip?
He's
Like he's just
literally-
like, oh, here's another peanut butter for me to. He has like a.
And I'm
yeah.
your boss, so you're not going to complain.
Yeah, he's like, you think I'm going to not put my grubby little paws in your dog peanut butter?
I'd say go to HR.
I'd say, by the way, go to HR.
I mean, you could...
It's a small company. We've got 8 people. We don't have HR.
Of course. I will say this is a small enough conflict that I feel like it should be a straightforward conversation.
Mm.
What you should be able to say is put some time on your boss's calendar, or don't do that.
Set up
Knock
a
on the
sink.
door.
Sink.
Knock on the door. Ideally when he's in a good mood. Okay, that's always helpful. If you know, like, oh, you know, he has his kid's custody hearing is tomorrow. Maybe do it before that. You know what I
Right.
mean? But this is a joke about him not getting custody of his kids. You talking to me, Willis? Anyway, this seems like a renegade guy, and all you need to do is say, "Excuse me, I can't help but noticing that you've been fingering my peanut butter, and I'm happy for you to do that on your own, but like I don't really like using peanut butter your fingers have touched."
Sorry, don't use that language in my office.
What language did you have a problem?
Fingering?
Okay. Well, I guess maybe let me just start over.
Yeah.
I don't like it when you put your fingers in my peanut butter and feed it to your dog. I'm happy for you and your dog, but can you just keep your fingers maybe out of my peanut butter?
He loves it.
I would decorate one of the peanut butter jars with dog paraphernalia.
Okay.
And then it's like, oh, look, it's a special dog peanut
but
butter.
without having the
No,
conversation.
but tell him and be like, oh, by the way, like so now this is going to be for
I like
Rainie,
that.
this guy is not going to take the hint. He's on a power trip, man. He's fucking fingering every peanut butter in this state.
I blame Ted Lasso for this.
Interesting.
Well, in Ted Lasso, there's a whole thing where he has his peanut butter jar open so he can dip his fingers into it.
Oh. I actually have, and this is why they pay me the big bucks, but I'm about to change your gosh-dang life. Are you ready?
I'm ready for it.
Are you ready for this? Never again is this guy going to put his grubby little fingers down your PB.
Don't like that.
Or your DPB, dog peanut butter. What you're going to do is you're going to go on a little site I like to call google.com. And I want you to write prank peanut butter jar.
Yeah.
Now, I think we're all familiar with what's going to happen next.
You're talking the snakes?
I'm talking about the snakes. He's going to open this spring-loaded peanut butter jar.
I like this idea.
And they are going to fly out. And this is exactly, because you said the thing about make sure he's in a good mood before you give this harsh note about his fingers dipping his little in your peanut butter. And I think that what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to catch him when he's afraid. And give him the note then. So you put it out. And honestly, wait till the dog is there. The dog's out. Okay, Roger. You replace the regular peanut butter with the joke peanut butter. You put that right on the middle of the counter, right where he knows it's at. The guy's going to take the thing. The snakes are going to go, "Boo, oh!" And just as he goes, "Oh," he exclaims, you go, "And that's for putting your fingers in my peanut butter." Am I right, guys? You tell everyone else to applaud.
See, I love this idea.
And everyone's like, ah. And you go, okay. And by the way, this is a combo of Rainie's idea. Just as he goes, "And that's for putting your fingers in my peanut butter, right, gang?" Everyone goes, yeah! That's what they do. You're going to be like, okay, so but this one we can do for the dog stuff. I know your dog loves the peanut butter, so I got a special little jar just for him.
Yeah. That's cute. Another.
Thanks, Rainie.
You could also just keep your peanut butter in your desk drawer.
That's also a good option.
Yeah, I've thought about, leaving it in the desk, but I'm thinking the fake peanut butter is going to be, it has to be the way to go.
I love that idea because it's so lighthearted. Who could get that upset at the snakes?
You're fired.
You're fired for putting snakes in my peanut butter.
If I call back next week, it may be that I'm fired, Miles.
No, don't get fired. Sorry, Will.
I just feel like this is the kind of thing where if you bring attention to it in a kind way where you're like, hey, I hate to have to bring this up, but I've just noticed you dipping your bare fingers in the peanut butter that I used to make my sandwiches. Like, it sounds stressful. I would be stressed out having this conversation. But if your boss is at all a reasonable person, he'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. I shouldn't have been doing that. I shouldn't have been dipping my unwashed fingers, even washed fingers.
Who knows
Get
where
him out of
his
there.
fingers have been? You know what I mean?
He's got the dog leash in one hand.
Smell my finger much? It's peanut butter smell.
Doesn't even make sense.
I don't know. He's dipping his fingers in the peanut butter. But I think that probably, this is going to be the solution for you.
Just direct. You have like one brief, but it's not even a confrontation. You say, we've got the dog peanut butter. Like Rainie said, if you want to decorate it, I'm not a decorator. I hate arts. And I love arts. I hate crafts. I'm bad at crafts. So put some glitter on it. Yeah.
And have you talked to other people at your office about how weird this is that he's doing this?
I have not. It's a small office. It gets around real quick.
Yeah,
I've talked to just my wife about it.
I would bring it up to other people at work and be like, "Did you notice he's sticking his finger?" And somebody else would be like, "He's putting his fingers in my salad dressing too for his dog." You'll find that this guy just has a weird.
Someone's like making their own salad dressing, putting it in a special
and he's like,
container.
"My dog will love this." The other question I have is he doing it multiple times in a day? Finger, dog's mouth, back in the peanut butter. You know what I mean? Like this is
I've only seen it happen once per day.
Still kind of a lot, though.
Once
per day is so much.
I agree.
Also, peanut butter is kind of expensive.
What is it? Is it Jif or is it like the
Justin's?
Rainie,
I've got Jif.
Let me tell you something. And Rainie, by the way, there's a big spectrum between Justin's and Jif.
Yeah, there really is.
Jif is like, it's classic. It's the people's peanut butter.
They make it in a factory. Don't worry about it.
They make it in a factory. Don't worry about it. Justin's is like bourgeoisie called, and it wants your peanuts back. And then in the middle, there's like granny nuts or something. And I guess the one I get. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
Pure.
here.
I want to crunch in my peanut butter. I don't want it to just be creamy.
You like crunchy?
Yeah.
I like crunchy.
I like crunchy. It depends on the mood I'm in.
Jif is also really sweet. I have a debate a lot. And let me ask you this, caller. I guess we have to give you a fake name.
Jiffy.
We'll call you
I love Jiffy.
My question is, do you think peanut butter is predominantly a sweet flavor? Like, you have to say if it's sweet or it's not sweet. What do you say? Sweet or savory?
I'd say if it's Jif, it's more sweet.
Correct.
But,
Jif is more sweet. Correct. Jif is, I'll agree with that.
That you have nailed this question.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Well, thank you so much for calling in and answering Will's Riddles 3.
I thank you for the help.
You're the best.
Shout out to your wife laughing in the background.
Yeah, shout out to your wife and tell your boss to get his fingers out of your PB or your DPB.
Mm-hmm.
Ciao! Bye. That was so cute.
Really good.
I loved that.
Next time we do chow, we should do chow, chow, chow.
You're saying we should like
Chow,
do a
chow, chow. It's like the NBC.
Okay, let's do the NBC. No, that's good. That's good.
Chow,
That's
chow, chow.
I think that's the ultimate chow. Is doing 3 NBC chows. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's really good.
Chow, chow, chow.
Another happy customer. Well, I feel like we got to get back to the phone lines to take maybe one more call.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
probably do.
Straight men who listen to the show, I feel like they're just cream of the crop.
By the way,
Like,
they have to be the
they're
best
allies.
By the way, something I've been
They're
thinking.
the allies from listening to my show, a straight man's show.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the straight men who listen to this show are some of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet.
They're sweeties.
The other thing I will say, though, is when, not if, when you do a live show in LA, I want to do a thing where we get everyone to stand up who was dragged to the show.
Oh, that's funny.
And we give them some extra love.
Oh, we
you know?
give them some advice.
Yes, yeah. Let's get advice for the people who are not into the show.
That's really interesting.
That's cute.
Anyway.
Okay, here we go.
Miles, my best friend of 3 years left me because of a tarot card reading. Am I being overdramatic for being mad /
No.
upset? Yes / no.
I mean, the spirits have
call back?
spoken.
Thank you so much. Have a slay day.
Have a lady.
Honest lady. I'll say that I think
not
she was
saying
wrong. Next caller. No.
Hello?
Hello, you've reached perfect person. Miles is turning the light on. Okay, he's back.
Hello, you called perfect person, and I'm here to call you back. I'm obviously here with the Wrecking Ball crew.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Slay.
What is up? How you doing? And by the way, we need a fake name for you, and it's gotta be freaking Tube.
Yes, like televisions.
Like the tube. So Tube, Tube, how you doing? And yeah, what's good? Like, how's your day going? Before we even get into the call, let's just wax.
Yeah, what did you do
Oh,
today?
yeah. So, okay. So my 2 best friends moved from Florida to the States that I'm currently living in, which is super duper fun. So I've been helping them move out
Nice.
or move in, I should say, to their new apartment, which is super fun, super slay because now I have friends in my state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, so please tell me what's going on with the tarot situation.
Okay, so I have a friend. We were best friends throughout college. We were literally BFFLs. We were part of a bigger group of friends. And then I moved. I worked somewhere, an internship. All of those other friends dropped me. Drop of a hat. Let me know why, because I don't. But this friend was like, no, yeah, they're fake. Like, I don't even know why they dropped you like that. Like, you're a good person.
Right.
And I was like, okay, sir. And then worked, whatever, moves back to the state that I currently live in. Then as soon as I moved back, he started being really weird. And I was like, hey, buddy, what's up? And he was like, oh, I just started a new job. I moved into a new apartment. I was like, oh my God, you moved into a new apartment? And he's like, yeah, with my boyfriend and all of his friends. The friends that dropped me a year ago. And I was like, oh, this is a really interesting turn of events. And so I was like, hey, we should get coffee, get dinner, because I'm back and you haven't seen me in a year and a half. And he was like, oh, yeah. And I FaceTimed him one day and we were talking. This is where it starts to get a little bit freaky. We're talking, he's cooking dinner, and all of a sudden he looks up, the door opens. I hear the door open. He goes, oh, hey, and then hangs up. I was like, hello? And he was like, oh, sorry, the roommates got home. I just don't want to make it awkward. And I said, Okay. And then I called him because we're theater people. I called him on his way home from rehearsal, and he was like, yeah, I was having a conversation with the roomies. And I was like, ew, gross. And he said, yeah, they told me that they set up a gentle boundary that you're not allowed over the house.
Wait.
And I said, huh?
Okay. I guess before we move on, why did these friends drop you, as you said?
I wish I knew.
They didn't say? Like, what was your last interaction that you had?
It was me being like, hey, I have an internship and I'm also graduating college. I don't know. Like, I thought everything was super fun. And then I talked to that friend and he said, oh, they told me that you were just a little bit mean to them. And I think it was because one of them borrowed clothes from me and I wanted them back before I moved out of college. I'll give them to you. And then one day I was like, hey, I need those clothes back because I'm leaving in 2 weeks. So I guess that's what they meant by I was a little bit mean to them.
Okay, Tube. I mean, how many people did you say dropped you? Like, what was the, you said it was like a big group of people, or was it just like 4 people?
It was like 6 people.
So, I mean, look, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
right.
That's a lot of people who have dropped you. And I guess my question is, do you feel like there was an incident outside of this where you had a weird interaction with them that you didn't enjoy the end of? Or I don't know, I guess I would just be so curious, what happened if a big group of people decided to, and also, does that hurt your feelings? Does that bum you out that these people don't want to hang out with you?
Oh, yeah, no, it incredibly hurts my feelings. And I definitely have stayed up into the wee hours of the morning overthinking the whole thing. And I've been thinking, and I can't think of a single instance as to why I would make them upset. This is where it gets really interesting. And I don't know if I'm being overdramatic. Okay. He texted me and he was like, hey, I'm sorry. I've been kind of ignoring your calls. I got a tarot reading yesterday and it told me that I really needed to prioritize myself. So I really just think that we should take a break.
As friends?
I was like, yeah, as friends.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but
that's crazy, by the way.
The thing is, this is someone, unfortunately, it sounds like he is looking to just sort of follow everyone else.
Yeah, that can't be true.
It's clearly, maybe he got a tarot reading. Let's just assume that this part is true. That's not why he's saying we need to take a break as friends.
No.
The tarot reading, if anything, it was the tarot reader reading into what he was putting out there and then telling him, you need to focus, you need to drop this friend or whatever. But he's blaming something else because he doesn't want to take accountability for the fact that he and you are good friends. And now he's suddenly I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's, obviously so weird. Also, I don't know, I've said this before in a couple different ways, but with friendship, you don't have to announce that you guys aren't that you're looking to sort of move on to a different friend.
Right.
It's okay for friends to kind of have different seasons, etc.
Yes,
but you don't need to ever take a break from a friend. That's so weird.
Yeah.
But I think
I'd rather him just block me.
Yeah, or just sort of be oh, I can't hang out. Anyway, okay, here's the question I have for you. And it is a big one. When people call into the show, and this is complicated here, Tube, okay? I'll freaking lay it all out on the table for you. I don't know who to believe here. Because you're saying that
we only have your side.
We only have your side of the story. And so I'm going to ask you the big question here. Do you think you were mean to these people? Or is there any reason that you feel like they might have distanced themselves from something that you did? Is there anything that you regret or a way that you've spoken to them or anything that you can possibly rack your minds on? We only have your side of the story. So
and we believe you, and we're on your side.
And we believe that you're on your side, but I just figure I have to ask you as a journalist / professional counselor.
I forgot.
Of course, as a professional therapist, obviously. I think the only instance that I can think of is that we were all in theater together. And we were on a theater board, and I did in a meeting bring up that I thought I was doing more than what my requirements were, and I really think that.
Okay, Tube.
Now we can get to the solution.
Now we get to the solution because we didn't have the full story before. Yeah. And it sounds like there was some theater drama that was happening behind the scenes. So you said that you felt like you were doing more than your responsibility. Effectively, you said that other people weren't pulling their weight, no?
Yeah, essentially, so if I wanted to sound mean of it, I would have been I'm tired of doing your job, do your job.
But what did you say? And did you say
reorganize? I did not say that. No, I said, can we just reorganize what the responsibilities of the different roles of the groups are, because I feel like some people are like doing more than they should be.
I'll tell you this, Tube. If I was in that meeting, I probably would have been like, okay,
pissed.
well, obviously she's talking about me.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my best here.
I'm trying to make this the best theater program in the Northeast.
I'm actually working my ass off. Cut to me in the library, like texting. By the way, so much of college is being like, you can't see how hard I'm working. Cut to like me playing video games stoned, like not doing anything.
For real. No, but I was also like producing a show, stage managing a show, doing my student teaching. Like,
right.
I really didn't need to be taking notes in a meeting because that's not my job.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, it sounds like, I mean, look, for better or for worse, it sounds like these people took offense to what you had to say.
Yeah. And obviously, you have one friend who's a coward who was like, I got my tarot read and it said I can't be friends with you. And I actually really want to be, but the cards are the reason I can't.
That's right. And I'll also say, were these all people that you knew for like all of college, or like these people that you had? College, I find, is a big period of growth for a lot of people.
Yes.
Sometimes you meet at the beginning, and by the end, you're not who you were when you met these people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And your friendships and your relationships have served you for the duration, you know? And then you're sort of blossoming,
right.
you graduated, you moved on. So like, are these people being like childish about like, oh, she's not allowed at the apartment? Completely, by the way.
childish.
That's
Absolutely.
so stupid. And like, if anybody said that I would just be like, you are, you're incapable of being in the same room as this person? Like, are you 5? Like,
right.
That's so weird. That being said, it sounds like maybe there was maybe they, by the way, I like how you prefaced, you were like, if I was to say this in a mean way, here's what I would have said. I think they probably could have smelled how it would have been said had it been in a mean way. Because I find that in college, especially, like everyone's looking for the subtext and they're like, oh, so you think like they were being defensive because also maybe they weren't doing their work. I have no idea. But
yeah, they're probably insecure. Maybe you called them out in the wrong way. And maybe this was a whole thing where like they're frustrated with, just maybe this is representative of like, they're like, oh, she just wants to control it. Like they probably have a false image of who you actually are as a person.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, she sucks or whatever. But if that, you don't want to be friends with those people. People who think that you are the worst?
I'll say this, Tube. You wash your hands of all of this.
Period.
Because, look, also, like, this is the thing. It doesn't matter who's in the right. At this point, the musical theater department was a war-torn country.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, they've all graduated since, since.
Yeah, this is years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, a while ago.
No, they're definitely still in college, and I'm definitely not. They're seniors, and I'm not in college anymore.
All the more reason for you to move on.
100%.
And it's just because these people don't serve you anymore. And
and there's a chance that, you spend some time doing your own separate things and you meet them in a different circumstance in your life and you rekindle your friendship in some way. But like, you don't need to like hold out hope for that, It's like, it's hard. You got to focus on, trying to build up the people you do have in your life, like the people in this car.
Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, this is another alternate point. College sometimes puts to test this.
Loved that.
Were you on a motorcycle?
Sorry, there was a car passing.
Oh, sorry.
I'm definitely.
Tube is running off into the sunset on a hog. You're like, yeah, for
I'm
sure.
definitely in a park.
So
yeah, for sure. Bye.
Tube, here's what I'll say. I think that college puts this thing to the test where, like, I have so many friends that I love dearly that I think are like my wonderful friends that I would be intimidated to work with. Does that make sense?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Just because you're friends with somebody doesn't mean you're going to work well together.
Yeah.
College is a
100%.
weird place where everyone is like, we're friends and we're doing musical theater together, something that requires so much communication and planning and organization and whatever.
Yeah.
There's also like a power trip hat thing that happens because it's like none of this really means anything, but we're all trying to like, we all have roles and it is very important and we're all, so there's probably also this thing of like, you might have been friends with these people outside or whatever, but then you all had to work together.
Yes.
You might not work really well with these people.
That's the thing. I think because I have a lot of self-loathing, and
huge shout out.
I would just say that like if somebody like, didn't want to be friends with me anymore, which has certainly happened, like there are definitely times where you go like, oh fuck, like what about me that like uniquely bad thing about me like made them all dislike me? And it's like, yeah, but like actually though, you putting it on yourself, it probably has more to do with, like working together with like something that's not personality based. Exactly.
Yeah, completely.
Like if it was me, I'd be like staying up late, like you said, thinking about all of my flaws and the ways that people hate me.
If it was you, you'd probably be smoking that Zaza. You know
well, I mean, hey.
I mean, here's something that I think about all the time.
Here we go.
Odysseus
Yes.
was on.
No way.
He was on a ship. And
That's an interesting way of describing Odysseus.
By the way, that's the t-shirt.
Odysseus was on a ship.
Are we talking about Greece?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Greece.
I just finished Song of Achilles. This is perfect. Okay, keep going.
Okay, I didn't read that, but okay, so he was he was on his boat. They passed the sirens. And the sirens are addicting. And they call you towards them with they tell you exactly what your flaws are. And so he was saying, I'm going to be really brave. I'm going to tie me up. Everybody else put in headphones because they were like, we can't handle that.
AirPods, I believe it says in the Iliad.
Yeah, they're headphones. It's headphones. It's AirPods.
Everyone else
Everyone put in noise canceling headphones.
No, they put in wax, obviously, and tied him up so that he could hear but didn't get called, didn't get trapped.
Yeah.
And he managed to get out. But I just think about that all the time because I think it's like, if you can stand it, to hear your flaws, then you're going to be a way more powerful person. But I'm like, okay, so if you have the courage to ask them, like, and be like, hey, like, I really want to have a conversation. Like, I know this is going to be hard for you. Like, and it's hard for me too, but like, it's really important for me to understand what happened because I don't know right now. And then you can hear about like what they're actually upset about. But you have to sort of weigh that out with one, how strong are you feeling? How good are you feeling in your life right now? Like, only do it if you're like in a good place. And also, if you care that much, because ultimately it's like, I don't want to be friends with someone who doesn't want to be friends with me.
No, exactly.
So it's like, it's like weigh your options, but that's one avenue if you can stomach it.
I like where Rainie's coming from, but I bet if you texted any of those people, you're just not hearing back from them.
Well, you wouldn't text, like I wouldn't ask over text.
Yeah.
But they're not
You mean
speaking.
I call them? What's wrong with me?
Hey, like can I buy you lunch? I like really would like a conversation.
I think that I agree with that.
I
just
did.
would wait a little.
I did text one of them a few weeks ago, like, hey, I saw something, and I really thought of you. Like, I hope you're really doing okay. Whatever. Left on red.
Yeah.
And I thought like he was like one of the nicer ones. I'm also worried that going through this approach, is it a little bit cringe because I'm like 25 and they're like 21? Am I just like a 25-year-old big teenager? You know what I mean? Like, am I overreacting?
I mean, look, it hurts your feelings no matter who you are. I
want everyone to love me at all times.
I want everyone to love me no matter who they are, even if they hate me.
Even if I hate them.
Even if I hate them, I want them to like me. So that's not cringe. But I think that you like, we've said this enough, but it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Move on to a new group, and that's not gonna like you for who you are, and you're not gonna have to work for their approval.
Yeah, I think
not that you having to work for.
I agree.
I think that nobody should be in the situation of like, I'm friends with this person, but in order to stay friends, I need to keep getting them to like me. It's like, the ideal situation with your friends is whatever level of friendship you are with somebody is to know that you care about each other, and when you see each other, it's great. And
exactly.
Like you don't want to be in a position of like, and I think this is true of relationships too, of like, I need to win this person's approval continuously. I mean, you need to try to put effort in. It's relationships are a two-way street or whatever. But like, if something feels like you have to put all the work in to get anything, get out of there.
100%.
Get out.
100% too. But I hope this has been helpful. How are you feeling before we let you go?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to eat the Taco Bell that me and my other two actual really good friends.
Yeah, there we go.
By the way. Really excited to eat Taco Bell.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate it. And you have the best evening. And enjoy your Taco Bell.
Oh my God, thank you so much,
Bye,
besties. Oh, thank you so much. Have a slay night. Bye.
Slay to slay.
Slow.
Slay
chow.
We got to turn this into the most deranged piece of gibberish where we have so many chow variants that people just lose their fucking mind.
Like a handshake. We should probably get it on a handshake.
We should. Group handshake, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Man, tube, what a riot. The musical theater antagonist is one I'm familiar with.
Can I just say, from listening to the show, being a fan of the show.
Thank you, Bo.
I don't listen to every episode. I listen to most of them.
Thank you, Bo. The solo ones, or
no, I actually love the solo ones.
That's nice.
But I feel like there are a lot of teachers calling. Number one, okay, a lot of teachers calling.
Yeah.
Number two, there's a lot lot of theater representation on the show.
I love it. Like it speaks to my little heart.
The fans of the show have all done a million plays, and
Love
even if they're not doing it professionally, they have everyone who listens to the show could tell you their favorite 10 musicals. They could go through, like, it's crazy.
Are you a musical theater buff?
I'm not a buff at all. I like musicals. I was in Sweeney Todd in high school. I was in the chorus. I sang the opening line of the show.
I wasn't in Sweeney.
Never.
Wow, Rainie.
Wow.
Sorry, Rainie, you don't remember my discography?
You don't remember what plays Miles was in?
I feel like
I was in Conrad Birdie. I mean, I did a Sweeney Todd thing with Pretty Much It, where we watched the Sweeney Todd movies. And
That's probably
it was a whole thing.
Maybe.
I had a whole experience where when I was 14, I was supposed to do a different elective than debate. I was supposed to go into...
I want to keep talking. Yeah.
I was supposed to go into a classroom, and I was late. I'm late to many things, but I was so terrified of going to this room where class had already begun that I instead just went back to the elective that I had previously done, and I didn't do theater class up until senior year. And I really, truly believe that decision alone prevented me from getting laid earlier. Thank you very much.
Thanks for opening up about that, Will.
You think by joining theater,
the theater
you would have
kids
had
are
sex
having
early?
so much more sex.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
That's all I'm saying.
So you would have joined a theater so that you could...
No, that's not why I would have done it. It just would have happened earlier. No, I like attention. I am a star. No, I'm not a star.
I'd like to see you in a play. Will.
I'm good at memorizing words. I don't think I am a good actor.
That's interesting.
Disagree.
I think you're bad at memorizing words and you're an amazing actor.
No, I'm good at rote memorization, and I can't play any character other than this fucking guy who I'm sick of.
Hey.
Oh, well.
Okay, Will.
Rough day for Willie.
Rough day for Will. He's being hard on himself. Hey, Will. I love you, buddy.
I love you too.
Well, this is obviously a segment that's been going on for a little bit now. It's a segment we like to call Get Real, where we force a genuine moment in an effort to learn more about each other and ourselves. And it's fall. And obviously, you know, the wind blows around another bend.
Winds have changed literally.
What are some fall goals you have for yourself going forward? Mine is to get a pump on.
I didn't know what that meant for 1 second. I was like, why is he talking about masturbating on this show?
Oh my God, Rainie!
Yeah, Miles has to list that as one of his goals.
My goals are to jack it, wank it, jerk it. No.
Weightlift. Your goals are to
My goals
weightlift.
are to get a pump on, I said.
Yeah.
And not a hard on. I want to get a pump on.
It does. Well, I won't go into it because my
please.
mom listens, but
Your mom listens?
she loves the show.
Big shout out.
Big shout out.
Yeah.
Humongous shout out. But no, to exercise, because I feel like my heart hasn't been beating fast as much as I'd like it to be. I don't go on a morning jog like Rainie.
I think that we should do podcasts at Run.
That's so funny. For tripod?
Yeah. With all the equipment.
Zach dies. Sorry, Zach.
Sorry, we're supposed to be being serious. Yeah.
But I want to get exercise because I feel like, honestly, a feeling I've been having is that I've been having a lot of health anxiety recently. And often it manifests in just like, for no reason whatsoever, my heart's going to stop and that's going to be dead. And I think that it's because I don't feel confident in my body as a powerful weapon. Of like, I'm not fueling it with a
Right there with you, brother.
I'm not fueling it with a nice salad. And I'm not fueling it with a blood pumping run. And I feel like I want to be juicing my
You want to be on steroids.
as well. I'm going to be taking steroids. I want to be just like doing things that are good for my body in the long term. I feel like I've been doing a lot of mental good things. You know, I started a business, I quit my job, I have this, baby, all these wonderful things are going on in my life. Like I really am, I have so many things I'm excited about, but I think my anxiety is manifesting because my body's not doing good things for it.
Yeah. I mean, I think exercising regularly is one of these like unfortunately, it is worth it. It's like, a lot of shit
I agree.
people tell you is like, I don't have to do that shit. That shit's bullshit. Exercise, unfortunately, is real. I have a really hard time making myself do it. And you're in the position that I envy, which is that you have the flexibility in theory, like time-wise, schedule-wise. Yeah. You don't have to go to a job. You want to freaking, go surfing? You can.
Holy shit. By the way, Miles' surfing era.
Oh my God.
What if we all go play pickleball? 3-person pickleball.
I don't know how to play, but I'm down.
I don't know either.
It's really easy.
Seems fun.
And I'm not doing anything right now, and I haven't been for a long time.
I'm trying. I haven't been for a long time. Trying. Something I'm trying to do also with this exercise sort of breakthrough idea. What if I exercise?
It's such a breakthrough.
It's a breakthrough for me.
Yeah.
Is gamifying it. I don't play basketball, but doing a pickup basketball game, and it's like I text a bunch of friends.
I want to play pickup basketball so
I know.
bad.
And Sarah's really good.
I know
she wants
good.
to play too.
I suck.
And it would be fun because then it's like we could bring the baby and either Sarah or I or one of our friends holds the baby and then they play like a game or two or whatever, and then we switch, and it could be really fun.
Basketball is a little too frustrating for me, but if I think soccer maybe, okay, let's switch it to soccer and I'm in.
By the way, if Second Try does a kickball league, I gotta be called in as a recruit freelancer.
Yes, I think you would have to be.
Yeah.
But I just want to, I feel like you're good actually about sustaining.
Rainie actually
you're very
is
fit, you exercise a lot, you like hydrate, etc.
I don't really hydrate enough, but I do. I just do it every day, so I don't think about it.
Oh, that's great.
That's
I really
the thing.
Do
You gotta have it
there,
visualized.
and I've never been there, and I have a complex in my head. I don't like it.
I will say the only thing I can get to do anything is if it's positive reinforcement, not negative. If it's like, oh, you're such a, like, I can't believe you didn't go for a run. Like, that's never going to work for me.
You're such a good person for running.
Yeah.
Or like you're doing so much good for
job,
running.
Good job. Get a little treat.
No, I love that.
At the end of the run, there's a treat.
I really like that. Well, gang, this has been Chow Live.
Chow Live.
Chow Live. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hey, love to be in here. Had
As
a great
always.
time.
The text Wrecking Ball Crew on Sunday. Hits.
Man,
Oh,
that Sunday Wrecking Ball feeling. By the way, I did a live stream, and a lot of people were saying, "How fun would it be if Wrecking Ball Crew?" I want to do a YouTube video where we just think really stupid challenge video.
Oh my god! I mean, I'm obviously in.
Wrecking Ball Crew
Yes.
does the cinnamon challenge.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
just
I would
like
do the same
Lizelle.
challenge. It doesn't seem very fun.
I just think it'd be funny to do old ass internet challenge
do
formats.
do viral content
Like
from
Mr.
10
Beast,
years ago.
Yeah, Mr. Beast is like doing the biggest challenges ever. I want to do the gallon challenge.
Which one is that one?
Milk.
Well, also chugging a gallon of milk, if you do it, like it's supposed to be within an hour, and it is physiologically impossible, basically, like to not vomit, because drinking that much milk makes you vomit.
You can't process it.
And my brother Charlie, shout out Charlie, there's a great video of him drinking, doing the gallon challenge in college, and failing and like vomiting liquid just white.
That's so disgusting.
It's really funny.
But yeah, goddamn, that's disgusting. Rainie, where can people find you?
I'm at It's Raining Toll on Instagram and Raining Toll on TikTok.
Will, where can people find you?
Don't like that. I am at W Whitwer on all platforms. I recently got onto Blue Sky. Of course, I will be doing a big post on October 5th, and it will be out by the time this episode's out. So
you know what that means.
You'll be understanding it, and you'll be loving it.
Wasn't it September 6th, and now it's October 5th?
No, it was September 5th.
It was September 5, and then it was October 5. And Will, you know what it means. The post is out.
The post is out, and
you know what that means.
Well, but I hope. What does it mean? That I have to do another one?
June 1.
Okay, this is my promise to listeners.
Summer of Will.
Okay, I have two promises to listeners. Number one, 2024 is going to be the summer of Will. Okay, that's promise number one.
June 1 is kicking off the summer of Will.
June 1 will be the beginning of the summer of Will. You've heard it here first.
Yeah.
Promise number two, if I don't do the idea I have in time for this week, it's coming up next time, baby.
Fucking way. No fucking way.
No,
Will is doing his big post, and then June 1 kicks off the summer of Will.
Summer of Will.
And
Hot Will summer.
24/7 Will coverage.
No one's interested.
You live streaming of every day.
And it's just like me stoned playing Elden Ring.
It's honestly so funny. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. And also go to my YouTube channel, link in the description, to check out the new YouTube videos I'm cranking out because I'm trying to grow the channel and trying to do the thing. I'm close to 100,000 subscribers.
Also,
Crazy.
Rate 5 stars and in the comments, compliment me. Say, Rainie's so pretty.
Thanks for listening, everybody. If you don't know what your problem is and you're worried about it, just remember that no matter how big your problem is, perfection is only a call away.
That was a Headgum podcast.